Yo, Crypto Nation and mining family, what's going on out there? What up, all you happy hashers? As you guys are sliding on in, certainly smash that Lizzie like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. Sorry for about being late. I actually had to troubleshoot something. As I'm sitting here setting everything up, I'm watching my computer disconnect from the internet, and I'm like, what? So I had to do a little troubleshooting to figure out exactly what was going on. I do have animals in the house. Apparently, not from my computer side, because I checked that side and it kind of did it again. And then I unplugged it from my little modem that's over by my TV. Unplugged that, plugged that back in, and knock on wood, we're streaming. I'm not even going to say it. Just knock on wood, we are streaming. So we're gonna try to move past that little technical difficulty that I was having even before I hit play. So had to troubleshoot that, guys. Sorry for being late. I had all means of being absolutely on time. So let's go ahead and dive right on into things. Hopefully my audio, I started troubleshooting. I didn't even check audio, nothing. So definitely let me know how everything is going. It's like just saw a ripple and an ad pop up before the video. Yeah, I like video, hopefully everything's looking crispy right now. And like everything from my side looks good. Audio's good, awesome. That's what I like. I know that's one of Jason's things. You know, he's like, your audio is just not on point. So hopefully my audio is on point. I am no longer utilizing NVIDIA Broadcast to do all that. I'm actually doing some stuff through my OBS software, and it seems to be working a whole lot more crispier. I'm enjoying it. I'm truly enjoying it. So let's go ahead and dive right on in today's stuff. Oh. So, if you guys haven't paid attention at all, we had the presidential debates last night. Some people would argue that Trump did amazing. Some people said that Kamala did amazing. I kind of say that Trump had good zingers, but Kamala sat there and definitely got under his skin a few times, and got him to kind of almost unleash himself, as the typical Trump that she was hoping for. So there was a few times where he caught himself, composed himself, tried to move on to more on the topic, which I do give him. I give it up for him on that one. So I think between his zingers and him actually answering questions instead of Kamala kind of beating around the bush on her stuff, in the closing statement, I think Trump really kind of just nailed her to the wall on this one, which was, you've been in office for almost 4 years. How come nothing that you're talking about right now has been implemented? It's a true statement. The Inflation Reduction Act, which had nothing to do with inflation and reduced nothing. She was one of the votes for it. You're going to see, how can I put this? You're going to see that there's other things that the Biden-Harris administration put in place. It's like they've extended the federal budget. They were tie-breaking vote on the railroad union, which really screwed over the workers. Something that the government should never have gotten involved with. But they busted up the union, the train union. If I was a train operator, me personally, I probably would have quit. It's like they don't have enough train operators, and if there's nobody, if they keep shitting on the train operators, there's gonna be nobody to move the stuff around the country. There's just not enough trucks and not enough road to get everything across the country. I'm just saying, we don't manufacture nothing here. And that's some of the things that Trump's trying to bring back. He's trying to bring these businesses back, and they're trying to go, well, these companies are getting levied with 20% tariff taxes. They're just going to pass it off onto the consumer. And it's like, true, absolutely true. And what'll eventually happen is it'll cause that the average consumer to kind of hold back on spending and try to find something locally. Maybe they can figure out that they don't really need that item and kind of work around it. It's like not everything that needs to be purchased from China. We need to start bringing manufacturing back home to help bolster our economy, especially if they think they're going to be bringing in all these immigrants and turning them into legal citizens. And okay, cool. You put let's say you put 2 million new workers into the workforce. Okay, where are these 2 million new jobs? That's the bigger thing. The Biden-Harris administration wants to sit there and talk about how they brought all these jobs back, but these were blowback jobs from COVID shutdowns. So they really didn't bring anything to the table. As far as that I've been watching, I'm watching Stellantis, which is the Chrysler division. They are in the process of shutting down the Ram division for Chrysler trucks because they're not selling anything. Yo, holy crap! It's nefarious technology. He's like, monetized. Sorry, I've been out of touch. Good to see. Tip wars can commence. Nice. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. What is going on, Nefarious? Glad to see you around. Glad to see you still kicking it. I see you're poking your head out from behind your busyness. But I know that like when we're looking at just pure fiscal policies, the Biden-Harris administration has been a net negative for the country. And some of the things that they're accusing Trump that he's going to be doing is already being done to him. Weaponization of the Department of Justice against a political rivalry. So, I mean, we need to sit there and kind of look at what's going on in these broader pictures, especially if you're here in the United States. For all you people outside the United States, this does impact you too. Anytime a superpower goes through a big economic change, it affects the rest of the countries, the rest of the world, in size of how our economics, how we consume. So if the United States slows down consumption, that means there's less demand out in the market. Some people might be going, all right, less demand, prices should go down because inventory will go up. But now you also have an economy, a world economy that's been done on demand manufacturing. In other words, what on-demand manufacturing really is where you sit there and you're looking at the manufacturing process only happening when somebody puts an order in. So if people aren't putting a whole lot of orders in, this is going to have a ripple down effect. Look at EK. EK is struggling here, guys. Why is EK struggling? On-demand manufacturing. And they have minimum order quantities. These minimum order quantities are going to kill, absolutely destroy these manufacturers because on demand, they don't internally make all the pieces. And if you're on demand, if your minimum order quantity is, let's say, 1,000, well, you got to have 1,000 customers before you even purchase one. Otherwise, that one item that price of that one item has to go through the roof because of the fact that inventory wise, I know I'm going to sit on that product. So now I have to sell that product for higher to cover my costs of doing business. It doesn't matter if I've got the inventory that I can make my money with. If there is no way that I can sell that inventory to other people at a reasonable price, because I need that money by the time I have to pay my bills. That's the end of the month. So I've got to be able to sell my minimum order quantity by the end of the month. If I can't meet that, that means I have to factor in how many of those products I'm going to sell that month, and then they have to pay the bill. That's how business works all over the world. And it's like these business politicians become so disconnected that they don't understand that the policies that they're implementing, each big country that implements retarded policies has this trickle-down economics effect on the rest of the country and the rest of the world if they're big enough of a consumer. This is on a consumer level it's being affected at. It's like, yeah, gotta love basic economics discussions. Yeah. I mean, and it's like, but a lot of people fail to realize that it's like, oh shit, we're a freaking crypto channel. Why are we talking about politics? And why are we talking about how policies affect everybody? Because it affects everyone. All these markets, every market, traditional market, crypto market, metals market, everybody gets affected. It's all the same playground. Trickle down economics. Like how can I put it? Like trickling rain, like raindrops falling down. I know, Rude, you're in another country, so what it's trickle down like a waterfall trickling down, and economics, trickle down economics. So what they do at the top falls down to everybody at the bottom. And this happens in every country. Every country does this to their own people. It's just that there are some countries that do it a little worse than others. He's like, got it. No problem, Rude. No problem. I know that you're being in another country, that some of the stuff that we say here in America, like anytime that I say something Rude, ask a question, I'll explain it to you, my dude. No problem. But as we're sitting here and seeing all these bad policies coming out, that's why we've been watching a lot of these markets coming down as hard as they have been. They're looking at the potential of Kamala Harris actually becoming president, and if that happens, yeah, that's going to usher in communism, or the beginning of communism in the United States. And for a free market and anybody who's a entrepreneur, business capitalist, anything like that, you are screwed. I mean, to a point, yes. Yeah, if they, like, how can I put it? A lot of those tariff taxes are not paid. So I get hit with the tariff tax whenever I buy something from China. China doesn't get hit with that tariff tax. I do. I get hit with an extra additional taxation. And it's basically my tax to, how can I put, financially incentivize me not to purchase stuff from China and to try to find it locally. Unfortunately, they're taxing stuff that nobody in the United States produces because we're not a producer. So it's just a way to be able to, the government, to milk money out of the people. They put a separate tax on the China in a different direction. And those are the tariffs that they levy against them personally. And as far as tariffs, the taxes, yeah, we get hit with more taxes to get in with their anything from China. Taiwan, Japan, a lot less taxes, but you're not getting the electronics you're looking for. Unless you're dealing with a broker coming out of there, you're still going to get hit with a tariff tax. Every country taxes the people to get something in. So, and those tariff taxes are at depending on what the item is, anything from about 3% all the way up to 28% tariff tax is what everybody's going to get charged anytime. And that's person to person sending something back and forth also. So it's not even business to person. It's like if Red Panda, if Red Panda Mining were to ship something to me, electronic wise, I'd get hit with I'd get hit with a tariff tax, and that's coming from Canada. I ordered up a concealed node from Nodes and Bits, and they're from Canada. I got hit with the tariff tax. So the U.S. is just taxing the ever-loving bejeebus out of us. That's why it is like if there was anything that people were to go, you know what, I wouldn't vote for Kamala for this reason. Let's just put it this way: income tax started off for people who made $250,000 or more a year. Surprisingly, the top taxation bracket is at $250,000 or more a year. It was supposed to be a wealth tax, an income tax on the wealthy. Then, over the years, the government officials, once that door was open, could not help themselves to bring that taxation bracket going all the way down. Why? Because they're trying to milk the system. It's not other countries. I tell people, it's not companies that are doing this to you. These big businesses, they have a cost of doing business still. Yes, they're incentivized to go to any of the producers and try to negotiate the cheapest price humanly possible for goods and services. And then they're going to pass that on to you, making money in the process. Period. That's how business works. And if you look at their margins are not big. A grocery store, their margins are not big. It's like the 100+ M trading wealth tax on a slippery slope on unrealized gains. Exactly. You want to sit there and thank you, Nefarious. You want to sit there and watch a magic trick? Yeah, we're going to do unrealized gains tax on the wealthy only. 5 years later, hold my beer. Everybody gets one, and you will never be able to afford a house. Because and it's like, and I'd be like, okay, you want to tax me every time my property goes up in value? How about I get a credit back every time it drops in price? Bet you that's not going to be on the table. This taxation is going to be a one-way street. When the getting's good, they tax you. When the getting's bad, oh man, sucks to be you, don't it? Yeah, no, that's not how this works. It's like I have a property tax. I already pay a property tax on my property. I don't want to hear, oh, your property went up, because the economy is doing a little better. That, it's worth now $100,000 more, and you owe us $10,000. Well, I don't have 10 grand laying around. Oh, well, you can only sell your house. Man, fuck that. Absolutely, that's garbage. That is communism. That is to tax everybody out of all of their possessions, because it starts with your house, then your car, then your TV, your computer, your phone gets a tax every year on it just to be on. Where does it stop? It doesn't. because the government is far larger than what the economy can handle. And when to visualize this, bam, here's your visualization. The U.S. debt clock.org. We're over $35 trillion. Every taxpayer, if we wanted to eliminate this debt, every tax-paying citizen in the United States right now would have to pay $270,000. And the moment we pay that off, they would already be running debt. There is not enough people in America to sustain the amount of money they are spending. This is the reason why they need an open border. They need more people in the United States as a tax-paying citizen. Why? Because it allows the government to get bigger yet. The problem is there's no freaking jobs for them. I don't care how much they flood the market with new workers. There is not enough work. They're already are starting to see the unemployment rate rise. Why? Because there's not enough jobs. And we're watching big corporations shutting down locations, shutting companies down. I mean, you want to talk about a company getting shut down? Where did I put that? Where did I put it? There we go. A company shutting down after decades of being around. Antech closing their freaking doors. The hell is that? You know, it's like as they sit there and let the money printers go, it's destroying the dollar and destroying the companies on the back end. It's like it's not just destroying the individual family, which most families let a fart happen the wrong way and they're financially wrecked. The average person does not have savings anymore. They are running on a zero savings budget. They are lucky if they got $100 in their savings account. People are living paycheck to paycheck. This is the reason why we are seeing crime run rampant, drug use go rampant, homelessness on the rise, mental illness on the rise. Because everything is connected in. You eat like shit, your brain falls apart, you go into drugs because it's, better to do drugs than, I guess, eat. And then you're homeless because you got a drug problem. And there's no more jobs, especially for a drug addict. There's reasons why I now work for myself, because my industry, being a mechanic, the industry is being flooded with so many new workers that the market is actually paying the mechanics less, even though my tool bill keeps going up astronomically. A $200 snap-on wrench. Yes, a $200 snap-on wrench. The fuck? There's no way that I'm going to support a household, a toolbox, insurance, all that, a vehicle, all that, let's say $25 a book hour. No way. Yep, Snap-on's not cheap. Snap-on, Matco, and I'm a Matco guy. And even that stuff's not cheap. It used to be cheaper. At least, it's like, yeah, now I'm getting to a point where I don't even want to buy new tools. I'm getting into I do a tool purchase and it's in the thousands of dollars. I'm paying and stuff. I'm making tool payments and I'm not making enough money. You have to go into business for yourself. There is no way that a mechanic can survive making $20 to $30 a book hour. That's why you don't see a lot of the mechanics anymore having big toolboxes. Now they got little toolboxes with basic tools in them. You don't see people with big toolboxes like mine anymore. I came from the era where it really didn't kill me to do this. When you get closer to $30 a book hour, it gets a little better. But yeah, I mean, I'm watching companies struggle in the automotive field. Automotive industry is tanking. People are not working. They're not fixing their cars. I mean, they are in certain when things are absolutely dire. But if they've making a car payment, they can't make a repair on the vehicle. If they're making a car payment, it's either make the car payment or fix the car. It's how people are living right now. Unfortunately, when you got a car that's $40,000 and it's used, or you just picked up a $90,000 truck that's 2 years old because it was sitting new on a lot, and they gave you a rebate. It's like now you're doing that. You got a truck payment, and the moment that you don't make you're going to struggle on finances. The first thing people don't do is take care of their vehicle. That's the first thing that comes off the list of things that they have to do on a day-to-day basis, knowing that eventually it's just another repo guy will come in and grab it, and then I'll be a high risk, and I'll go to some small rinky-dink shop and a place and go get a used vehicle with low jack on there, and whenever I get a new job, that's if you can get a new job these days, right? And in a lot of these, it's like you're in a lot of markets are looking at what the presidential race is going to be, because we've got wildly different concepts that are going to be in play here. We have trying to return the country back to center, not so much left or right, just back to center, just middle ground, or full-blown communism. And that's going to be horrible for the economy. Communism means government controls everything. And it's going to be something that's going to be very interesting. You have people like Alan Lichtman that is actually predicting for Kamala Harris to win here. This is his little prediction market stuff here. But you have your midterm gains was given to Trump for sure. No primary contest given to the Democrats. No, they muscled out JFK, John F. Kennedy Jr. They muscled him out, and forced him to run as an independent, because they wouldn't put him on the docket, because the Democrats knew that he would win over Biden. So they kept him off of there. The incumbent seeking re-election. No, the incumbent is not seeking re-election at this point. The incumbent, Kamala is now a new incumbent. She is not a returning president. She's a vice president. No third party. Certainly, they pushed John F. Kennedy Jr. out of the Democratic primary and made him run as an independent. So yes, there was a third party. Strong economic, short-term economy? No. Strong long-term economy? No. Major policy changes? No. Social unrest? Yes. Scandal? Oh my God. Are you kidding me? There's tons of scandals from the Democratic side too. The hell is this? Foreign military failure? Afghanistan? Foreign military success? None. Trump had that. So those go to the Democrats. A charismatic incumbent? Yes, Trump is. Uncharismatic challenger? No. Everything should have gone towards Trump. So the person, Alan Lichtman, very much in a biased mindset, answered these questions. And then whenever you're sitting there and you look at it from a data-driven side, and not Alan Lichtman, who does a biased. I mean, granted, he's only been wrong once before, only once, but he hasn't seen this much of an issue with the Department of Justice being weaponized, for one. So you can't. He doesn't have that anything in this prediction model about the weaponization of Department of Justice. And then you have uh, how can I put this? Like you have Kamala Harris that's sitting here and now trying to distance herself from Biden, even though she's been in there making these decisions for the last 4 years, and still blaming Trump for everything. And we have now another prediction model market that is all data driven, that is actually showing a not just a win for Trump, but an absolute landslide. If they go off of a data driven prediction model versus in an opinion driven 13 questions. Because like at the end of the day, 13 questions, I can answer a question in multiple different ways. It's very subjective. But if I do it purely with data coming out of an institution, now we got a different set of stuff going on, because the only thing that could be biased at that point is the prediction model and how it aggregated that data. That would be the only thing. It's like Chuck Danger Trump 2024. And it's like, and typically I'm more of a conservative, more middle, more conservative, conservative constitutionalist. And I'm actually like very much this term around, we need change. Both of them are not perfect, but at least Trump got has brain cells behind him that will do stuff that as a business person. And I think in his heart, I think he has a little bit more that he wants to do this for the country, so that there's something for his kid to be able to inherit later on. What the hell is the point on having children if your children cannot inherit your legacy? It's like, what legacy is there worth handing off if the world is destroyed afterwards? So it's like Bitcoin 2024. You know it. And in a lot of the market predictions, if you were to sit there and go with like a gambling site here like this, I'm not sitting there suggesting anybody to gamble. This is just prediction markets. More than one way to be able to gauge the temperature of the room, right? So after the debate, if you bet on Donald Trump, right now you will be up 110% if he wins, and that number might increase or decrease from here, right? But if you were to vote for Kamala Harris, because they're all sitting there predicting, with this guy, right, that he's going to win. So if you vote for her, you're not going to you're going to lose money on the bet if she wins, because she's already being set up to win. As you get closer to the election time, if you've got somebody who's definitely favored, the betting odds will start dropping on that person. So you will not have, like, if you were to bet, you will lose money, because it was like, oh, duh, they were going to win. You should have got in when it was, when it was not favored. So Donald Trump, the latest election odds, a 45.5% chance, implied chance. But you go over to here into the poly markets, and the poly markets really have them neck and neck. And I can kind of believe it. I really can. It's gonna suck, guys, if communism gets voted in here. Crypto market, guys, this is gonna impact crypto markets. So Just remember that whole unrealized gains tax, right? That unrealized gains tax is going to hit two big funds that operate in the Bitcoin space: MicroStrategy and oh god, what the hell is the ARK Investment? MicroStrategy and ARK Investment. So you got Michael Saylor and Cathie Woods, the two biggest fund managers that are involved in crypto. Imagine getting them slapped with an unrealized gains, and they have to sell off part of their asset, and how much of that market would fucking get rickrolled over this. It'll be like, fuck you mining. That's what it's going to be. This is a way to be able to take investment markets and just slam them down. And why would anybody want to slam that down? So that the dollars go further. It'll force the companies to actually sell off their assets. Forces them to put those assets back onto the market. And now they're hoping that that's going to basically counter effect the whole supply and demand thing, where, you know, prices are high because, you know, the money's bad. Well, if we tax the fuck out of you and you have to sell everything and you push that back onto the market, well, now it don't matter that my tax is high. Everything is cheap because the market just got flooded. Imagine BlackRock having to sell assets because of unrealized gains in during their operation here in the United States. So this is going to be a very interesting time of how markets are going to be reacting to all of this. I know BlackRock would get absolutely destroyed. Imagine destroying a company just so that you can make more money on the other side. That's what the government's doing. And that's not what they're supposed to be able to do. They're not supposed to sit there. They're supposed to be a regulatory, not a government that picks winners and losers by assets alone. Oh no, you see that the banks would not get rolled on this, because banks would just shift everything over to be assets under management, and now they own nothing. There is no owner to tax. So imagine a bank is has an asset under management for, say, 2 years, right? You go to buy it. It's 2 years they've been holding on to it. And they go, yeah, you got a clean title. Here, went through a title agency. Look, no liens or anything on there. Nothing's past due on there. And what they don't tell you, and I would be surprised if they would be forced to have to say anything, is that the taxation from it just being there is still owed. And that gets wrapped up into your closing cost, is the 2 years worth of taxes. So yeah, this is gonna this would be basically turning every country into a third world country, or at least trying to. And I believe that's where the BRICS comes in. China realized what the United States was planning on doing, and they're going, yeah, no. We want at least something that resembles sound money, and we're not going to play anymore. Why the world is de-dollarizing right now, because the quicker they can de-dollarize before the U.S. tries to do what it's doing right now. And guys, it's not going to be pretty for Bitcoin. It's not going to be pretty for gold and silver, and none of it. There will be no safe haven asset class. The only thing that'll be a safe haven asset class is your ass not being in the United States when it happens. Unfortunately, people like myself and many other people are not going to be able to do anything about it. So we're screwed. Overall, we're absolutely screwed. Um, that's why I'm trying to tell people I don't care who you vote for. Don't care. Everybody needs to get up and physically vote. Just physically vote. Yeah, communist countries are linking together to together for the BRICS the BRICS thing. But what the propaganda news doesn't also tell you is that they are backing it up with gold and silver. That's why a lot of the countries that are getting involved with the BRICS nation are all repatriating their gold reserves right now. It's what's not being told. So it might not be the ideal situation to have communist nations be in that position of power. I feel you on that one. But as far as the money, it looks like they're making a better case for sound money. Their local economy, like China's local economy, has been heavily manipulated. Japan's economy has been heavily manipulated. Taiwan's economy has been heavily manipulated. So, I mean, it's the local levels. A lot of these countries are pretty much fucked. On the bigger stage, there are countries that are sitting in better positions than the United States. China is one of them. They have the means to production. All things are being manufactured right there. They have a tactical advantage over every country out there. At this point, if China shut the doors to the world, that would be an economic collapse to everybody outside of those doors. It's like as I walk out the door. Yeah. It's like people who are going to sit on the outskirts of China's walls whenever they shut down, bro. That it'll be like, Escape from LA the movie, Escape from New York the movie. Will be the big cities will collapse, and they will go to extremes for anybody in the outside of the big cities going into the country. So, I mean, if things go really bad, man, I hope everybody, has their pew pews in place, a lot of ammo, has mean to produce your own food, because it could get bad. Not saying it's going to. I'd rather be safe than freaking sorry. Just saying. Just saying. But it's like China is in economic shambles. Yes and no. Yes and no. They're shifting stuff around, is what you're seeing, and the propaganda is showing it off as they're collapsing. They're really not. They have all the means of production. They're inflating their currency right now to keep the price of production down. Because if the price of production gets too high, then China can't do what it's doing right now. They're artificially pushing their economy down, and then once they get into the right position, they've got to make sure that their economy stays below the U.S.'s economy. Because if the U.S.'s economy gets below China, then businesses will be incentivized to come back to the United States, and we will start getting means of production. Now you see the other flip side of this. They flood the market with all these illegals. Now they sit there and drop the means of production down here in the United States because there's too many workers, not enough jobs. Now the means of production goes way down. You're going to hope that the jobs come back. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of people living off of universal basic income from the government. Welcome the government handouts coming up if Kamala Harris gets into power. I'm not saying that she's gonna turn into a dictator or anything like that. No. I just see that policies are going to get real progressive real quick. Because you got to think, her background of who she is, not where her Marxist family comes from. We haven't even gotten on that one. Her family is Marxists. So yeah, I mean, I would be sitting there very, very surprised at this point if how can I put it? I wouldn't be. Let me rephrase this. I wouldn't be surprised of what happens after Harris gets voted in. If she gets voted in, it's over, guys. The economy will go very Marxist, and it'll take a long time to recover from this. If we're able to. If we're able to. So, yeah, I mean, like these are the things that are going to be affecting your mining, your investing. I don't care what you're getting into. It's like, and the best bit of advice I can say is get everybody to vote, because the more people that vote out there, the less times Democrats win. These are proven facts. The more people that vote, the less Democrats win. Why? Because people are not looking for the party of racism, the party of the big business, the party of the oppressors of the country. And typically I try to stay like more into the middle of the road, going, you know what? Vote for the best candidate in your area. I think for this next round, we need to get the House and the Senate completely red under a Republican president to kind of help undo some of the damage that's been done with a predominantly Democratic House and Senate with a Democrat president. We've had just bad policies getting put in place by progressive leftists that are going, oh, you went left? I go a little lefter. Oh, I go a little lefter than that. Just saying. We need to return back to center. Now, I'm not saying just, vote red no matter who. If the person's a nincompoop, yeah, no. But look at the policies and not what they are standing for. I tell people to do your own research. All these politicians, except for Harris, has on their website policies they stand for. These are if you vote for them, these are the things that they're going to be working on. Everything else is static noise. Kind of look at it that way. So does anybody have any other comments or questions before I head up out of here? Any comments or questions before I head up out? And certainly, everybody, smash those lizardy like buttons, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that good stuff. You know how YouTube likes it. But has anybody got any other comments or questions before I head up out of here? Otherwise, drop some FAs like my man Tech Man over here is doing. Because I think every so often we all got to be reminded that, what happens at the political level affects all of our pocketbooks. We all got to make sure we're voting in the right direction. I'm not telling people who to vote. I don't care. I don't even care if you vote for Harris and that, You're that one person that watches my channel that votes for her. As long as you participated and vote. I would implore you, if you are considering Harris, to do research. Look at the actual campaign policies that they're running on. And then look at how they have been running in their last terms. Because what they've done in their last terms is a pretty good idea of what you're going to see in the future from them again. Harris is not going to change any of the policies that have been enacted. Nothing. And she's just saying what needs to be said at this point to get your votes. And she's been on the record on saying that. So, I wouldn't say Orange Man good. I would just say Orange Man's probably the best option we got. I mean, that's just how it is. I know I'll be voting. I'll be voting for Trump. That's for sure. Only because I want change. I need something other than what Biden and Harris is offering. Bullshit. And it sucks that I'm doing it in a very, very blue ran state. And the blue ran state is because Chicago has all the voting power. Chicago votes communism. That's the unfortunate. Everything outside of Chicago, Republican. Chicago votes the state blue. 100%. Keep that in mind. Your bigger cities are what's voting the whole state blue where you're at. You see a lot of Democrats in place. Either there's a lot of Democrats in that area, which it does happen, or there just wasn't enough Republicans that thought it was worth a shit to go vote. And I implore all the Republicans, conservatives, liberals, go vote. What up, Sherm? Yeah, FA. FA. We just need to get the country back on track. And if the U.S. is on track in the right direction, guess what? A lot of other countries and their economies do good with America. Not saying that because America, everybody will do good. No, it's just a healthy American economy is a very robust economy that has a lot of purchasing power, and they're big consumers. The United States is one of the largest consumers in the world. If we stop consuming, the rest of the world feels it. You need a consumer. So we need to make sure that the economy can continue to consume. We need a person that's going to be able to bring that to our country. It's like, are we better off 3 years ago or 4 years ago than we are today? If the answer is yes, then we know where we need to vote, right? Just say. It's like, I don't care what this man did. He can fix a country. He can fix it right now. That's what we need. Results, not bedtime stories. 100%, Chuck. 100%. It's like, I don't need to see the Salem witch trials on full display. I just need a leader. Period. We don't need the Salem witch trials. That's what the Democrats are offering. Salem witch hunt. So, yeah. With that being said, we're about at that 1 hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this one right here, guys. So, thank you everybody for being here. All that good stuff. Certainly like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Peace out. Stay savage. May your wants be low and your hash be high. I will see you on the next one. Yo.